All right, so today, hey, if you're on here, you're here because you want to help yourself with your revisions. How you're going to do that is we're going to go over cropping. We're going to go over changing color on the images so that maybe the image can become clearer to see. We're also going to go over where you can go to compare your answers to make sure you're accurate with your answers. Then I'm going to talk about what I'm expecting for the summary. And I'm also going to talk about how I would like to see the conversation we had about the racial wealth gap in the last slide of your slides. So let's go ahead. This is where you're going to submit it. Once again, this is where you're going to submit it once you're complete. I'm going to show you an example of the slides. Now, this individual does not have their first slide. So that's something they would have to go to yesterday, watch the video so they can get the first slide from week 1, that Bitmoji room slide. But with that said, let's focus on just these slides right now. So the first thing you're going to see is I've changed the color here on this image. And so I want to go over how did I do that. You can see how there is, well, you might not agree, but I think it's easier to see that now than it was before. And so this might be a way that you could save some of your work that might need some revision. With that said, so you're going to click on the image. When you click on the image, let me delete that because that's what's going to come up. You're going to go to format options. So if I click on this image here, I'm going to go ahead to format, and then I'm going to go to format options, and then you'll see that pop up, and it says recolor. So go ahead and say, yeah, I want to recolor it. What do you want to recolor it to? I don't know. Let's see. Maybe that. Oh, definitely not that one. Right. So let's scroll down. Here's a good one. Okay, cool. I like that one. Now the thing we're going to go to next. So once again, that's how you recolor. Format options. Here's another way you could get to it as well, but you have to click on the thing you want to change the color of. The next thing is, what if I want to crop? Like, I don't need all this extra space on the bottom. So I'm going to double click on the image. You'll see these little black lines pop up. Once those black lines pop up, you can actually start pulling them inward. Sometimes it does shrink your image. You just have to undo. So go ahead and undo if it shrinks it, and then just try it again, and it will crop your image. So let's go to the second slide. If I'm looking at this one and I want to crop it more, once again, I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in those sides. And if I want to recolor it, I can recolor it, because once again, we're presenting this information. It needs to be clear so you can read it and not feel as though you're not confident with what you actually have put out there. So with that said, there's a sample again. All right, so now we're going to go to the comparing your answers. So I want you to go to the presentation from yesterday. So click on that presentation from yesterday, and then I have it open already. I want you to look at my solutions. They're on slide 4. So compare your solutions to mine, and I know mine are all scattered around, but find them and then compare them. Make sure that we're both on the same page, or one of us needs to revise something. All right, but with that said, that's where you're going to go to double check all your information is accurate. The next thing I want to think about is the summary. When you guys are summarizing the information, I want you to summarize it by saying, similar to what they said down here, yeah, we know that the percentage here represents what percent of the home can be paid in 1 year. So you're going to state that, but then you're going to also state the numbers that we calculated. So you're going to state the data says that in the Asian community, that in 1 year, 26% of the cost of their home can be paid. In the white community, and then et cetera, et cetera. Just keep going with the data. But once again, it shouldn't be huge and long and explaining a bunch of things. It's just explaining that the percent means the percent of the home that can be paid with 1 year of income, and then state the information that we found. So state your percentages and the race they are associated with. When we look at the first slide, we're looking at a number that's not a percent. So this is an error they would correct, but it's not a percentage problem. So what we're thinking about here is this is the number of years it would take to pay for the entire cost of the home. And so once again, the entire cost of the home. And so you want to include that as well as the data and what race it's associated with. All right, and then lastly, I want to go to the last slide. Yesterday, we talked about the racial wealth gap. I want to see that somewhere on this last slide. So give me your feedback, give me your opinion, give me your thoughts, give me your questions. Once you're done with this, you're ready to attach and submit your work. Great job.